My favorite comment anytime I post anything about working the lower abs is, you don't actually have a lower ab muscle. And that's correct, you don't have a specific lower ab muscle. However, you can target the lower portion of the rectus abdominis to a greater extent, especially using bottom-up exercises. Just like you can target the upper portion more as well using top-down focus moves. So if you're looking to target that lower portion of the rectus abdominis while even strengthening your pelvic floor and TVA more, I want to share a movement variation I think is often underutilized. But before I do just want to mention a few bonus tips to help you really achieve that lean, flat stomach. That lower abdominal region is an especially stubborn one to try and lose fat from. And diet is 100% key. It takes consistency in dialing in our macros. Past that point, we often want to quit, as losing that last little bit of stubborn belly fat is so hard. But if you're truly struggling with losing that last little bit, this tip may be the missing piece from your training routine. And it does involve something we've been told is impossible: spot reduction or spot lipolysis. Yup, you can spot reduce an area. Not in the way we've always tried to, but it may be that key little tweak when you've got everything else dialed in. So how do you do this? Try including this underrated ab exercise or an exercise for the stubborn area you want to target in your strength workout. Include it even as part of a finisher. When we work a muscle, we mobilize more fatty acids from the surrounding tissues. So if we do this focused ab move to mobilize the fatty acids in the surrounding tissues, and then include low intensity steady state cardio after, we can utilize the mobilized fatty acids. AKA, we help ourselves lose more fat from the lower abdominal region. If you've been struggling with that last little bit of stubborn fat and want to strengthen your lower abs, try this hanging posterior pelvic tilt with squeeze as part of your workout finisher, even adding in a nice walk after to cool down. So how do you do the hanging posterior pelvic tilt with squeeze? Hanging leg raises and knees to elbows are both great lower ab exercises. Yet all too often, we use them in a way that only ends up overworking our hip flexors. It's because we ignore the essential component that makes any leg raise movement really target our lower abs, the posterior pelvic tilt. That's why I love this hanging ab exercise variation, because it focuses on that essential pelvic tilt component. And by adding in the leg squeeze, which in turn engages your adductors, you can even help yourself better activate your pelvic floor and lower portion of the rectus abdominis. To do this move, start hanging from a bar with a ball or block between your upper thighs right above your knees. Grip the bar hard with all of your fingers evenly and even engage your back to help you stabilize, slightly depressing your shoulder blades. Then squeezing the ball or block, tuck your pelvis towards your ribs. You're basically rounding your lower back. Your legs will come forward, but you don't want to really bend at the hips. You're using your abs and even your glute max to perform that slight spinal flexion to tuck your pelvis under. Squeeze the ball or block hard as you tuck. Think about pulling your core in as you tuck. You're not just drawing your belly button in towards your spine, but even think about pulling your pelvis in towards each other as you tuck towards your ribs. As you do this move, focus on that exhale to expel all the air you have and contract that core as you perform the pelvic tilt to feel your TVA engage as a corset around your middle to brace. Really pause with each tilt to focus on engaging your abs as hard as you can before slowly relaxing. To help you really avoid too much swing, grip the bar hard and engage your lats. This is a very challenging move, as simple as it may seem. To modify the fully hanging variation, keep your toes down as you hang. You can even not perform the squeeze as you do the hanging movement. If you have any upper body issues or simply can't yet fully hang and control the exercise, you can also modify by doing this off the ground, holding onto a pole overhead or even a bench holding onto the end. To progress the move when you're fully in control of the posterior pelvic tilt, you can start to do the full knees to elbows. But only progress as you're fully in control of the move and feel that mind-body connection working so that you actually feel your abs shaking. Remember, you actually need to feel your abs working before you progress this movement if you want to get the full benefit. We're benefiting what we actually feel during the movement. Sometimes we need to regress to progress to really make sure our abs are actually working. If you like the video, make sure to like it, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe. We're posting new videos each week.